Peter King did a great article, wrote a great article based on him being embedded with you, John. And, you know, one of the things I enjoyed most about it is it's something I already know about you, the enthusiasm you just bring to everything that you do. It seemed like you were bouncing off the walls, fired up, like you were playing a game. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, we had a lot going on, Rich. You know, and it all started with the Chicago trade. You know, I had conversations with Ryan Pace, who I had developed a really good relationship over the years as a broadcaster. I had done a lot of Bears games, got to know Ryan quite well. And about a week and a half prior to the draft, we had our first conversation, and it went something like, "Hey, we're going to be picking right next to each other throughout this entire draft. So, you know, let's just kind of keep each other abreast of what's going on, and maybe there's an opportunity to help each other throughout this thing, and let's just have conversations." That progressed when Ryan again called the day before the draft and said, "Hey," and got a little more specific. You know, in the first round, there's some people that I'm hearing want to trade up to your spot. Please just give me your word that you know, we'll have an opportunity to match any offer if someone's coming up to 2. And I said, "That's easy, Ryan. You know, that's a no-brainer. I'll definitely give you the opportunity." And then he was eager, and the next day called and said, "You know, if you want to just do this thing, let's go." And they came strong on an offer. At the same time, we had a couple other teams entering, and so the offer kept getting better. And you know, I think a lot of people think I'm trying to cover for Ryan Pace, but I really applaud him for his aggressiveness. They kept it completely quiet. When we were trading, I had no idea who they were trading in an attempt to go up and get. He didn't tell me it's for Mitchell Trubisky. But they got the guy that they coveted at that position, and so I can't blame them. But it also gave us a ton of ammunition to go be real active. And so where I'm going in a long way is I thought I was going to be this conservative GM. We come and make 6 trades in my first draft, and I'm going, what the heck is going on? But they all made sense, and they were all set up with what happened to start the draft for us.
Now, because, you know, I had my own Stanford man sitting next to me on the first night of the draft, and David Shaw, and I asked him and Daniel Jeremiah and Mayock after the trade was announced, that did San Francisco, in your mind, have to ask Chicago who they were taking before they pulled the trigger on this? And all 3 of them said absolutely they would have to know. And then we heard you didn't know, like you actually did not know who Chicago wanted. You were not concerned they were going to take your guy?
We asked. You know, and I now it makes sense. I mean, they didn't tell their head coach until an hour before, so they sure as heck weren't going to tell me. But they did say something, and I didn't know what the reference was. It was a thinly veiled reference to, "Hey, I think you're going to be all right," you know, that kind of thing. And you know, for the longest time, I thought it was Solomon Thomas that they were trading up to get. They didn't, and then it became easy for us to pick Solomon. But when I took Solomon, I cringed because I also, you know, not gonna lie, we all have our little draft crushes, and for me, that was Reuben Foster. I thought he was a game-changing player, and so then I looked at Parag Marathe, you know, who our director of football ops, and he does a tremendous job working these trade lines. And we had 5 phones, we had everyone calling. I think we talked to every team in the first round to try to jump back in it to get Reuben Foster. And finally found a trade partner in the Seattle Seahawks. It went right down to the wire. We almost didn't get it done in time. Later, we find out that the Saints are on the phone with Reuben Foster, ready to take him at 32. And we just got it done in time with the trade with Seattle, and we're able to secure Reuben Foster. So 2 of our top 3 players on the board. And, you know, like I said, we'll see in 5 years, but we sure think these guys have an opportunity to hit it big.
Yeah, and you used one of the picks you got from the Bears to get back into the first round to get Foster. And I want to put a pin in that part of our conversation for a moment with John Lynch of the 49ers.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.